you bleed, you will.
Hey guys, Josh from Films Go here, and today I'm going to be talking to you about my review of Batman vs Superman: Dawn of Justice. So this movie is directed by Zack Snyder and stars Ben Affleck, Henry Cavill, Jesse Eisenberg, Gal Gadot, Jason Momoa is in the movie. So the story of this movie I found to be very complicated. You have to follow along very closely, because if you miss one thing, the movie's done for you. I'm not even kidding. It's very fast paced and it likes to skip beats a bit, so it'll be like 18 months later, blah blah blah. That only happens a few times, yet it happens, so just be prepared for that. I think a lot of people went into this movie misled and misguided, thinking this is going to be more of an action movie, whereas it's a very character based upon, like, it's a very character driven movie, especially for Batman and for Superman, and for Lex Luthor actually. And I think a lot of people didn't really expect this. They expected more of a action movie, because when I was in the theater, a lot of people left after the fight between Batman and Superman and didn't stay for the remaining 40 minutes that were there. So yeah, I don't know. I think a lot of people were just, they didn't know what they were expecting, really. I knew exactly what to expect. I wanted it to be more character driven and less action, actually. A little bit more dark, and I wanted to get into the mythos of what Batman is now and what Superman is now, because obviously his character has changed since Man of Steel. And to that aspect, this movie really delivered. There's a lot of political aspects upon Superman's actions from the last movie. We get to hear about how Bruce Wayne dislikes and why he thinks Superman is a bad being. So now I just want to talk about Batman. I thought Ben Affleck as Batman was amazing. He's my personal favorite Batman we've had to date. Yes, people will say he used guns. He does use guns a few times. Now, does this take away from the fact that he's Batman? No, it does not. It just means he's more of a badass. His mythos has changed, so his character, not necessarily... Okay, I'm just going to say this. There's a moment where he brands someone with the bat symbol. There you go. There's a very different character right there. Basically giving him a death sentence when he goes to jail. That's the thing. And it's a very different character of Batman than we've seen before. It's very different. It's very much darker toned. And I really enjoyed it. Not only was his Batman bang on, but as well as his Bruce Wayne. His Bruce Wayne was fantastic. And Ben Affleck as a whole in this movie was great. We get the action style of this Batman was very different than what we've seen before. We've seen more cartoonish and very cutscene-y from the way back originals, and then we have the realistic fighting style of the Dark Knight, and now we have the more cartoon and video game-esque style of the Ben Affleck, Batflick, whatever you want to call him. This guy takes on a group of 30 guys. One punch, he'll punch your face right into the floor and you'll go through the floorboards. So that's the kind of Batman you have to expect going into this movie. Moving on, I think Superman was great. He pulled my heartstrings a little bit at the end there. It was very sad, the ending of this movie. I don't want to give anything away. However, he's good at bringing the Superman. He's not good at bringing the Clark Kent. I think his Clark Kent needs a little bit of work. He needs to seem more like a humble guy. He seems very wooden and very, I'm a big man, but he needs to be more humble and caring. That's who Clark Kent is to me. He cares about humanity, even though he's an alien. He's really a human in an alien's body, and I think they need to embody that more in the films. That was just a little bit missing. However, his Superman is bang on. He's a great Superman. Don't take away from that at all. I think he's fantastic in this movie. He was pretty good. The fight with him was very brutal. I felt very bad for him at times. That's not to say he does throw a few punches in there, but Batman, woo! Anywho, next I want to move on to Gal Gadot. She surprised me the most. Yeah, because I wasn't very surprised with Ben Affleck. I thought he would be great from the start. However, I thought Wonder Woman was going to be complete garbage, then that they just picked a beautiful woman to play the role. However, she was badass. She's only in it for about 20 to 30 minutes. However, her line delivery was fantastic. And she really brought that character of Wonder Woman to life again. something that we've missed since the Linda Carter days from the 70s. And Gal Gadot, I think she really brings the woman to the role. You know, she empowers. You can tell she's an embodied and empowered woman, and that's what she brings to the Wonder Woman persona. And I think that was fantastic. And not only that, she kicks ass. Like, she kicks ass. And I can't wait to see her movie that comes out in 2018, 2019. And I can't wait to see her in more movies, and she really surprised me. A lot of people are saying that she stole the show. She doesn't steal the show. However, it was nice to see her in there. Now, next thing I want to talk about, which has had a lot of controversy and a lot of mixed emotions, was Jesse Eisenberg's Lex Luthor. You have to understand that he went for something completely different, something that we've literally never seen from the comics, Smallville, or cartoon series. So he went for something completely different. And I actually really enjoyed it. He was one of my favorite parts of the movie. Getting to see a different Lex Luthor, a different character. He's more hip, he's more modern, very modernized, very to today's standards of what a geek and a super genius would be. At moments he feels like he belongs on The Big Bang Theory. That's nothing negative to say. I'm just mean his character itself. He's a very hip and jittery kind of guy, you know? And I really loved him. He was one of my favorite characters. Some people will say he overdid it. However, I think he was just so embodied in the character. Like, the Joker, right? You can say that he overdid that for sure. There's arguments you can say he overdid that. Heath Ledger's Joker was overdone, obviously. And I think that people can argue that for Jesse Eisenberg. However, I think that people are just trying to be negative, and I don't know, I thought his character was fantastic. He was one of my favorite parts of the film. This is just going into it with an open mind because it's nothing we've ever seen before. He's, as I said, more jittery, but he's a lot more meticulous, and you can tell there's a lot more going on in his mind. Now, personally, after watching this movie and thinking about it, I think this is the first stage of Lex Luthor. This is his childish side. He hasn't really had a major defeat yet, and after watching this movie, I'm just gonna say, just like Kylo Ren, I'm very excited to see where this character goes, because he's going to come back with a fist and kick some ass, and I can't wait to see Jesse Eisenberg come back and redeem his role as Lex Luthor. And I'm not going to spoil anything else. I will have a spoiler review coming out. Negative things. I enjoyed the slow pace of this film. I enjoyed that it wasn't very fast paced. That's a lot of the problems I have with Marvel movies. It's very fast paced and they add too much action. This movie, as I said before, is very character based, which I had nothing negative to say about. I will say it slows down, which is why I give this movie an A and not an A+. I honestly was very close to giving this movie an A+. If you want to get very nitpicky in it and say that Batman having a gun or more destruction was a problem, for me it was not. I thought this movie was fantastic, as I said before. The slow parts were great because we get to see more of the personification of the characters, and I enjoyed that. And there wasn't very many action scenes in this movie, I'll say that. However, the action scenes that we get are fantastic and extremely well done. The only one thing I have to say about this movie is it shouldn't have been called Batman vs. Superman. It takes elements more so than... A lot of people thought it'd be Dark Knight Returns. However, it's a mix and a combination of three different graphic novels, I'll say that. When watching the movie, you'll be able to tell. It definitely should have been called Dawn of Justice, not Batman vs. Superman. But hey, I still give this movie an A. Guys, let me know what you think in the comments below if you've seen this movie already. If you like what you've seen here and you want to see more, please click that like and subscribe button down below. Let me know what you guys thought about the trailers, thought about the hype of this movie, and if you've seen this movie, let me know what you thought about it in the comments below. You can follow me on Patreon, you can follow me on Google+, you can follow me on Twitter, you can follow me on Facebook, and now you can find all that in the links down below as well. And take care, FilmNation. I love your faces, and have a good day.